A couple weeks ago, we went to Columbus Art Festival, and it was not leftist enough. So we decided to go to ComFest, the hippie festival full of
edibles, a couple beers.
Or maybe I need another drink.
Oh, it's edibles.
But all the beer and all the edibles were not enough to keep people from justifying genocide, and not the genocide you think I'm talking about.
Why are you trying to put up God above God? Because that's just God. Like,
you need to do more history. Next year I'll come back and you guys do some research.
And then
you
need to justify where morality comes from, period.
It comes from within yourself.
It doesn't come from within yourself because,
within yourself.
Well, then you have no basis to say that Hitler was wrong. If it comes from within yourself, then what comes from within Hitler?
He says Hitler was wrong. He's trying to make
see?
He's trying to make a better race.
This is how you identify a troll. This is how you identify a troll.
Trying to make a better race and a better life.
He's literally defending Hitler right now.
He thought.
Then I made the right decision.
It was Mary Mack.
I should just turn around.
It was a prostitute.
And then I couldn't help myself to give some haunted cosmos explanations.
There was no modes of transportation, no airplanes, no
I can
ships,
explain that.
No ways to
the
get
Nephilim.
anywhere. And then on the other side
the
of the
Bible
planet,
talks about
the
it.
same exact type of thing was built.
The Nephilim. The Bible talks about it. There's we find 12-foot
aliens.
The Nephilim. The descendants of demons and humans. The Bible talks about it.
About both, that's right.
And we find 12-foot skeletons of humans in the ground.
I know.
You think a 12-foot human could do some of those
things? You're trying to convince me that there was a God.
And the Bible explains all that.
Overpowers
the Bible
everyone
talks
here.
about giants.
Somebody had to
It talks about
him
Nephilim.
or her.
It talks about all that stuff.
Not everyone was crazy enough to defend Hitler, but some people were married to him.
Yeah, dude. You look like you've had a couple beers.
No, it's edibles.
Edibles, that's what I thought. Okay. Well,
My wife used to do
she used to do abortions?
They're in the area. When you hear the stories, the horror stories, the women that come up the streets, they've had 8 or 10.
Yeah, it's
You want those women pregnant on the streets with babies?
I don't want them killing their babies.
Should there be a law that stops them
From killing their babies? Yeah.
having children?
I think there's a law that should stop them from killing their
Put it on
babies.
birth control, like whatever it takes.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna
After like 3, like come on.
I don't know if you're gonna remember anything from this conversation, sir, but
From the 90s.
Havelock Ellis was among the pioneering investigators of psychedelic drugs, and he just so happens to be the mentor of one Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. It is no surprise to me to find the husband of a woman who killed child after child after child here at this festival, high on an edible. This is just a reminder that our fight is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this age. We cannot fight this fight alone. For our enemies are contacting demons through psychedelics and other means to encourage their heinous behavior. In order to fight this dragon, in order to fight this demon, we need to understand what we're dealing with and lean on the God who it will, in the end, destroy every single last one of his enemies.
These people used to like protest out front of where she worked at.
okay.
Their office on Main Street. Abortion clinic.
Yeah, it's
Scary.
a terrible place
Terrible.
because they're killing babies like that. I mean,
That is the same office that earlier this month we saw person after person after person walk in to have their baby ripped out from their body, with only one mother turning away. We praise the Lord that she did, but it's not enough. We need to keep pushing forward, and we need you to join this fight. When I was younger, I developed this idea called the Cliff of Despair, and every single movie would climb the mountain of despair until they made it to the Cliff of Despair. And if the movie kept on going up the mountain of despair, they would inevitably fall off the Cliff of Despair into the valley of despair. And once you're in the valley of despair, you can't go back. So hopefully I haven't gone too far.
what do you think?
What do you think?
I think you disagree.
Why?
Why? I don't know. Because science agrees that it's a human life from conception, so I don't know why you would disagree.
You guys are making the claim, so what's the claim?
The claim is that abortion is murder, murder being the unjustified taking of innocent human life. Do you agree that that's a murder?
Yes.
So where along the line does it break down for you, and do you say that abortion is not murder?
No. Gotta make, is it consistent across the board? No thoughts?
What do you,
Just like you pick and choose the battle.
what do you mean? It is if it's
Would you
if
pull
it's
the plug on a loved one if they're brain dead?
So
What if they can't,
the
like,
difference between pulling a plug on someone and letting nature take its course versus abortion is that if you let nature take its course with abortion, that child would be born, but you're inserting yourself in
so
nature.
it's just the heartbeat, you know?
No, not just the heartbeat. No.
Okay.
So, but do you
Do you draw any
wait.
stipulations?
Did you understand that
But
example?
do you draw any stipulations? Like rape?
So the question
can
is,
you get rid of, can you abort if somebody's raped?
would you want to be punished for the crime of your father?
By who?
Like, would you want to be put to death for the crime of your father?
But by who?
You said abortion is wrong, right? What about women who are 12
Right.
and got raped by the
Yeah, so
We get this question all the time, and I wanted to make their argument so much better. So I decided to reach out to ChatGPT to see if it could help me out. I had it create a list of diseases and circumstances that would be the absolute worst for bringing a child into the world. And this is what it came up with. What if the child had trisomy 18, trisomy 13, cystic fibrosis, HIV, AIDS, Zika virus, Huntington's disease, muscular dystrophy, fetal severe hypertension, extreme prematurity, extreme poverty, exposure to violence and instability?
So like, there's always two people involved,
I get it.
testament to have a 12-year-old.
and so both people should be cared for, and the
But, like-
rapist should be put to death. Do you agree?
I mean, I think it is a capital offense in Ohio now, right?
I don't think so. But I could be wrong. You could be right on that.
But like,
If rape was a capital offense, that would be amazing.
But not every interaction was confrontational. This fella just got done giving us a fist bump, and then he asked his mom if he could tell us a story.
You want to tell him? You can. Lost a brother.
Oh,
So,
brother.
brother. Like,
Sorry, man.
So,
no, I mean,
but before he died naturally,
Oh, okay.
thankfully.
Sorry, man.
But,
I'm so sorry.
well, no, that's why we feel the way we do, you know.
Yeah,
They were able to see him and hold him and realize his humanity.
yeah.
So now my kids are, and plus, sorry, he was second trimester, so a lot of the things they had to do, like the pills and everything, they had to have me take, so I had to do the same things that they hand out like candy, but it was so dangerous for me, I had to remain in the hospital. And they're sending it through the mail in I mean, it's just,
I'm so sorry.
thank you.
This is one of the reasons why I'm not for banning pills,
Yeah.
because
Well, no,
there
it
is-
was a miscarriage. It was so dangerous.
yeah, exactly.
And so, like for a miscarriage, if you look and you can tell women, why don't you deserve good health care? Because if it's for a miscarriage, you have to be, like, they really monitor you. But if it's elective, they send it through the mail.
Right.
And you could just bleed out. Like, I needed emergency surgery. I bled out. And
I'm
if
so
I had
sorry.
not been in the hospital, I would have died.
I'm so sorry.
And I was because it was a miscarriage. So that's why I'm so against pills, because they're so dangerous. But if it's elective,
Yeah.
you know, they hand them out in schools, on the streets, and it terrifies me. They're not safe. They're terrible.
So
When we were in church, I was snuggling with my mom. I was a little kid.
yeah.
And I'm like, hey mom, random question, like, is there a baby?
Yeah, you know,
And
you
she's
said
like,
God put a baby inside.
yeah, no, and she's like, no, it can't be. But then you went home and you got a test.
Well, he wouldn't even shown up on the test yet.
Wow.
He was there. That's
Dude, that's insane.
That
Wow.
was the boy he lost, but it's like, it's praying for us, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I think of this, I think of him.
Yeah. So there's one thing we're out here talking to people about is that we're abolitionists of abortion, which is a little different than pro-life, and maybe you're not familiar, but it's a growing movement. And the idea with the movement is that we are completely against abortion from the moment of conception. No exceptions, because it's a life. No exceptions. And what might surprise you is that there was a bill that was brought forward in Louisiana. It's called HB 813. It went through committee, onto the floor, and 70 pro-life organizations signed a letter saying they opposed that bill that would have equally protected the unborn, because they don't support any bill that would punish a mother who willfully chooses to kill her child. And so, as abolitionists who we take our foundation from the Bible, we think that that's unjust, and that the just thing to do is for anyone who's involved to receive punishment, to go to the court system. And if they're coerced, okay, let the judge decide that, all right? But they need to be taken to court, and it needs to be dealt just the same as if I stabbed you or if I stabbed you. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, later in this conversation, I found out that these folks are Catholic. They did mention, though, that they are relying 100% on Jesus Christ's finished work to get them to heaven. So if you would pray for them, I would greatly appreciate it, for their eyes to be open to the truth of what has gone on in the Council of Trent and other things. If you appreciate this work and the continued upgraded video quality, please consider giving us a follow on Twitter at Heritage Shorts. And please consider donating to our Patreon page to help cover the costs of all these different outreaches and the different projects we want to continue to do. Thank you.